How's it going, my beautiful kitty cats? Tea time true crime with Katie, and I have got a case for you. This case is like, you would think it's from a Hollywood movie, which ironically, they did make this case, well, Hollywood did, make it into a TV movie and two TV series. One series is on Hulu and the other one is on HBO Max. Now, the Hulu series I'm dying to see. I have not seen it. It's starring Jessica Biel, Pablo Schreiber, a lot more people in the cast, but I love Pablo Schreiber, so from Mad Finney. Oh my gosh, I could be like failing, but he was the leprechaun from American Gods. It's Liev Schreiber's half brother. I don't know. I love him. He's a great actor. And the Hulu series is supposed to be what the people actually look like the closer to the representation of the people during this horrific occurrence. Now, the HBO Max version I'm currently watching is starring Elizabeth Olsen, Lily Rabe, and Jesse Pink. I think of like Breaking Bad. Oh my gosh. This guy isn't Breaking Bad though. He's in El Camino. Jesse. Anyway, it's Kirsten Dunst's husband. He's in it. And so far it's really good. But the HBO Max people, those producers, you guys, they bought the rights to the story. So even though the characters are less look like the people, the story is really, really like true. As soon as you start the series, it does not say based on a true story. It says this is a true story. So let me describe it. Oh, sorry, I get excited. I just fly my hands everywhere. So I'm going to describe it as best as I can. And if you didn't watch Candy on Hulu or you didn't watch HBO Max, turn this off, because right now we are going to get into it. We're going to get into Candy Montgomery. Candy Montgomery was born November 15th, 1949, which, yes, that makes her a Scorpio. There is so much elements to the story, you guys. It's unreal. I'm going to do the best I can to describe what I can. Right now, you guys like that I drink hot tea and describe it. And of course, if you're watching, hello, thank you so much for watching. And if you're listening, well, thank you so much for listening. If you are listening right now, I am drinking something different. It's green tea, but with blueberry in my That Chapter cup. It says TC. Now, it has a little skull on it, has the number 3, and it has 3 trees. 2 of them are black and 1 is white. It has a really cool feeling. I purchased this because it's merch from the YouTube series That Chapter, starring Michael O. And he is an Irish fellow. Love Ireland. And I've been watching him for quite some time, and he is a great, great YouTuber, podcaster. He is very funny, but I feel like he does those jokes appropriately. There are other people out there that are just not appropriate, because you have to remember these are real people. This really did happen. One sip of my, ooh, that is delicious. Yes. So let's get back to Candy and why this case is so prolific. I'm telling you, they made TV shows, TV series. So Candy was the type of girl who was a church girl, very put together. She was a mother of 2, and she just really kind of had it made. I mean, we don't honestly know what she was thinking, but she was the bored housewife per se. She got married very early, had kids very early, and she was looking for fireworks in her life. Now, her husband, um, Patrick, Patrick Montgomery was really smart, and he had a really great job. And all this took place in Wylie, Texas, by the way, in the 1980s. So she's been married to Patrick for quite a while, and they make really good money. Back in that time in the 70s, $75,000 a year in today's money would be $300,000. So, Patrick and Candy were living very comfortably. She really had the American dream. I mean, they made really good money. But people that believe money doesn't buy happiness, in this kind of case, yeah. Because if this never happened, this affair, then Betty Gore would still be alive. So Candy wasn't happy in her marriage. She just so far how the series presents Patrick is very childlike, very playful. Kind of like a nerd, goofy type, which I don't want to typecast because nerds are not like. I think they're very sexy and very sexual and domineering. It just depends who you're with, But so far, it just seems that Patrick really doesn't have anything to do with Candy. Like, she's just there. She's there to be the mom, cook the meals, take care of the kids. So she's missing fireworks. Well, Candy is also in the church, and she also is in chorus. Well, one day, she decided and talked to one of her close friends that, you know what I want to do? I want to have an affair. Her friend was taken back, like, what? Are you serious, Candy? And she goes, yeah, I want to have an affair. And you're wondering, well, who was this lucky guy? His name was Alan Gore. Alan, his wife, Betty, was actually friends with Candy, and they actually went to the same church. Alan was also on the choral team as well, sang chorus and all that. So, yeah, Candy is, she's looking at Alan. Now, how this hot moment starts, you guys, oh, can you imagine? You are in a church game right now, volleyball, and all of a sudden, Candy and Alan are going to spike the same ball, or trying to get the same ball. But, oh no, they bump into each other, and Alan is all sweaty. And at that moment, Candy said to her friend, and she said at that moment that Alan is who she picks, who she wants the affair with. So Candy knew that she wanted to have an affair with Alan because she said as soon as she smelled him, he just smelled so good, like sex, And I'm like, okay, do you, boo-boo, So Candy waits like after the game and goes to Alan, and Alan thinks nothing of it because they're friends. Like, they're all friends of the church. They know each other very well. And she's like something, like she goes in the vehicle and she's like, hi Alan, can I talk to you? He's like, yeah, Candy, sure, what's up? And she's like, I don't know how to say this without saying this. And he's like, well, what's going on? Say it. And she's like, I'm just incredibly attracted to you, and I can't stop thinking about you, and I don't really know what to do, and I thought you should know, and if you want to do anything about it, just let me know. And she quickly leaves the vehicle. That's it. That's bold. Now, No disrespect to Alan Gore, okay? But Alan Gore was like this tall, skinny, very reserved, quiet dude, okay? And he had a job in telecommunications. His wife, Betty, is incredibly intelligent. She was so intelligent. She was actually a school teacher. A little bit of she was a little neurotic, that's what the people kind of portray her as. She went through postpartum with her first child. So in the middle of meeting Candy and starting this affair, she's already trying to get married. Trying to conceive. Like, she's carrying her second child. Bystanders and other articles say this may have been days or may have been weeks later. Okay? I feel like it's like 3 weeks later. So Alan, after the game, asked Candy, I need to talk to you. And she's like, yeah, sure, Alan. And he's like, so what do you mean you don't know what to do? Like, to show me? Are you talking about an affair, Candy? And she's like, well, yes, but nobody has to know. It would just be between us. And, we wouldn't hurt anybody, And then Alan was just thinking about it. Like, he's like, but I don't want to hurt Betty. And I don't want to hurt Pat. And she's like, we won't. We won't. We will just time it certain times, okay? And we'll see how it works for everyone, between you and me. And she was just very convincing. And Alan, again, she left the vehicle and she gave him her number and then she kissed him. Yes, she kissed him, and then after that, got out of the vehicle. Woo-hoo! Candy, candy, candy. All right, so you guys are thinking, after she kissed him, did they have hot, wild animal loving in the back of the car? No, they did not. This is the strangest affair I have ever heard of, you guys. Ever. It was literally planned out, even by meal. Yes. They actually met a few times for lunch to talk about the affair when it would be Tuesdays and Thursdays on Alan's lunch break, which could be up to 2 hours. Could you imagine that, you guys? 2-hour lunch break? We can't even get like 30 minutes nowadays. Besides the point. So she would make like these homemade lunches, and then they would meet at like a hotel and everything like that, and every other week. And the rules were, before they set down the rules, they still weren't sure yet. They actually were like, it's not funny, but it kind of is, guys. You do the do's and don'ts about having an affair. Like they literally did do's and don'ts, like how this would be a great idea or how this wouldn't be a great idea. And again, they literally planned it. How long, what to eat, what to do. And finally, December 12th, 1978 is when they started the affair. One of their main rules about the affair, you guys, is whoever fell in love or was starting to fall in love, it's over. The affair is done. Which, that's pretty smart. To have an affair is incredibly stupid and reckless, and you always are gonna hurt someone no matter what. Not judging, okay? Not. But I'm just letting you know. So, but she said if one of us starts to fall for one another, it's over. And he agreed. He goes, yes, absolutely. So they get hot and heavy. She brings the homemade lunches, and it's different. She is still waiting for her fireworks. Now, in several sources, They said that she didn't get fireworks, but I mean, if you're asking me, if you keep seeing the guy over and over and over again, and this affair happened over 9 months, maybe a year. Yeah. Yep. And they were really secretive about it. But they did something that was quite silly, in my opinion. If you're just doing an affair to just, have sex and be physical, to get away, your frustrations or whatever, because remember, Alan had a pregnant wife at home, and she's irritable and she doesn't want to be touched, and that's not her fault, by the way. It's not. I'm not even going there. But Alan was, he wanted something, sadly, I guess, different. Who knows? Both idiots. They started like calling each other, talking on the phone. She would call Alan on the phone and vice versa, and they would talk, and they would even talk in the hotel room, talk about your hopes, your dreams. Sorry to say, but one of you was gonna fall. One of you is gonna fall hard. And that is very true, because fun fact, FF, how I fell in love with my husband, like head over heels, can't eat, can't sleep, reach for the stars, World Series kind of stuff. We talked on the phone for hours until we had our first date. And then our second one, we fooled around and fell in love, and the end. And yeah. But what I'm saying is, you guys, one of them started to fall. Okay, guys, so months and months go by, and Candy and Alan are doing more than just talking, having sexual relations. They're actually showering together. Please, in the comments below, let me know if you guys think that showering, wow, can't talk, is more intimate than sex. Because for me, I feel like, I asked other people about this. Do you think showering is more intimate than sex? Because people, pay sex workers. But to shower with someone, I feel like that's really, really intimate. Is that just me? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, so months and months go by. And one night, after Betty has the baby, Bethany, beautiful little girl, Betty feels a little frisky. She wants to make love with her husband. So she kind of like, sets the mood, puts the moves on Alan. And Alan does not. He rejects her. It could be because he was with Candy all that afternoon. Yeah. So Alan felt really bad about it, because Betty was basically saying, you don't love me anymore. You don't find me desirable after, I had the baby. You don't want me. And of course, Alan feels horrible, like horrible, because of course he loves his wife. Yeah, apparently, you guys, he loves his wife. Sorry. He had an affair. Okay. Not judging. Even though I'm a Virgo, not judging. Trying not to judge. So, Alan feels terrible. And he does love his wife. But, again, he just couldn't perform. And he went to Candy and ended it. And, before he really ended it with Candy, Betty said, do you want to go to marriage encounters with me? It's like a couples retreat, marriage counseling thing for the weekend. And it worked, because Alan and Betty, their spark was back. It was like an amazing weekend. And even Alan asked Candy to watch the kids, which she did. She did. Nothing bad happened to the kids, though. Well, not yet, anyway. So Alan ends the affair. He ends it. He's like, I really want to focus on my marriage. This is over. And he did do it. But Candy, few weeks after that, she goes and throws. Before baby Bethany was born, yeah, before baby Bethany was born, she threw a surprise baby shower. Like this lavish baby shower for Betty. That is some guts, man. And she's screwing her husband. So I read that the affair was like on and off again, you know, like, no, we gotta stop. But it really did stop. Like after the marriage encounters, that was it, as far as I could tell. So yeah, that was the affair. And it was over. 7 months later goes. 7 months later. Betty and Candy are still really good friends. Their daughters are very, very good friends. And Candy went to Betty's house to go get a bathing suit. Okay? Went to go get a bathing suit for Alicia, which is Betty's daughter. Trying to keep up here. So that night, I mean, who could not go see Star Wars, you know, Strikes Back? This happened June 13th, 1980. This horrible, insane crime happened. Warning, I'm about to get extremely detailed and graphic. This is where it gets messy and also unfair, but you be the judge. June 13th rolls around, and Candy goes over Betty's house a little earlier than usual. Betty seems annoyed, but, you know, kind of doesn't mind it. But Candy is the type of mother that has to have everything to a T. She had a lot more things to do that day. So her and Betty just start talking, and just small talk for like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And then right when Candy was leaving, Betty turned to Candy and was like, Candy, are you having an affair with Alan? Candy, of course, is like, no! Oh my gosh, no! But you did. Didn't you? And Candy's like, yes, and I am so, so sorry. It is over, okay? It's over. And it was like a fight between the ladies, you know. And the fight is pretty gruesome. It's like worse than a horror movie. So after Candy said, I am so, so sorry, you know, Betty just can't believe it. She goes in her utility closet and grabs an axe. Yes, an axe. You know, like The Shining. Here's Johnny. Yeah, an axe. And she's holding it. And she's like, you can't have him. And Candy's like, oh my God, I don't want him. Like, I'm so, so sorry. It is over. You have nothing to worry about. It is long, long gone. So Betty is in hysterics. Candy is, it is some kind of like screaming match. It was just wild. So all Candy did was touch her arm and say, Betty, I am so, so sorry. And that made Betty snap. I mean, she snapped. She started wielding the axe and trying to hit Candy with it. And in this fight, Candy actually lost, she didn't lose a toe or anything, but she like got slashed on her foot, close to her toe. And these women are like fighting for the axe. Like Candy's like, what are you doing? Like stop. Like she literally, she pushed Betty down and she's trying to run away to get away from the situation. But Betty wields the axe again, going after Candy. And Candy realizes, oh my gosh. So she's just, trying to bob, like, not bob, but like trying to sway away from the axe. And finally, Candy grabs the axe, and it's just like a tug of war between these suburban housewife women, okay? And then Candy gets her mouth and bites down on Betty's knuckle to have the axe. And then she gets a hold of the axe, and before she knew it, she axed her friend Betty 41 times. I mean, it was gruesome, you guys. 30 times to the face. She also did the torso, the arms. She just kept on hacking. It was absolutely horrible. Sources say that after Candy killed her friend, she went in the shower with her clothes and did a very messy cleanup of the scene and put Betty's body in the utility. Yeah. There actually was an article, because The Shining just came out, ironically, like that week, or it was coming out. It was coming out really soon. So on the newspaper where the movies were coming out was The Shining. And it was Friday the 13th. Yeah. Really, really weird. So after Candy left, she just went by her day like nothing happened. Seriously. Alan was in Minnesota at the time on a business trip, and he called over there at Betty's house, and she did not answer. He called again and again and again, and finally he started calling the neighbors, and one of them knocked on the door, but nobody answered. Then Alan called another neighbor, and they both went, and Alan was like, do whatever you can, get in the house. Get in the house any way you can. Break a window, I don't care, get in there. He was really worried about Betty. Man, that just crushes me. So the neighbors actually were trying to go to the back door, but it was locked, so they were going to break a window, but one of them thought to try the front door, and it was unlocked. And they said as soon as you walked in, they felt something was wrong off the bat, like something was not right. And one of the neighbors is like scarred to this very day. He opened the utility door just to crack and saw Betty. And the first thing he thought, because there was so much blood around her head area and everywhere else, he said it was, quote unquote, an ocean of blood. It was extremely bloody scene, which makes this way more tragic, because why is the person still bleeding? That's because their heart is still beating. Rest in peace, Betty. So automatically, with all the blood and the horror, okay, the neighbors thought Betty took her own life. So when they got on the phone with Alan, before they got on the phone with Alan, they heard a faint cry. Remember I told you about Betty's kids? Baby Bethany, okay, was in the other room, and she cried so much that the baby was hoarse. Yeah. The neighbor got on the phone and said, this is not good, but the baby is okay. And of course, Alan's like, well, what happened? And he's like, we really think that Betty shot herself. So Alan is like, oh my God, like he couldn't even believe it. He's in Minnesota. He's trying to come right to Wylie, Texas, ASAP. But it was until the pathologist said that she was killed with an axe, 41 whacks. that was not the terminology, but she was killed by, 41 wounds with an axe. I'm so glad the baby was okay. We have to like look at some positivity here. I just cannot believe that Candy, as a mother, would leave the... Okay, so let's rewind to Candy when she's a child. I think like 5 or 6 years old. This is what the defense attorney said about what happened during this attack. Sorry. So Candy actually turned herself in 13 days later because a lot of evidence, like Alan knew that the last person who seen Betty was Candy. She was the last person to see Betty alive. So when Candy was like 5, 6 years old, let's go back to that because this is why the verdict is the way it was. So Candy got hurt and she's a child. She like split her head open. She was bleeding. I'm not sure why. I think it was just like an accident. Kids play and they hurt themselves. Well, she goes to her mom and she's crying and she's like, "Mommy, it hurts," and all this. And her mom just does this. Shh. Now, in the altercation with her and Betty, when they were wielding the axe, or before, like, we're not sure when this altercation happened because Candy, like, cannot remember. She remembers the fight, but she does not remember her whacking her friend 41 times until she was literally exhausted. She literally was just full exhaustion. And I was like, yeah, that's insane. In the middle of the argument, when Candy was talking to Betty, trying to calm her down and everything, Betty did this. Shh. And then that was it. Candy went berserk, took the axe and hacked her friend. And you're wondering, well, Katie, did she get manslaughter? Is she still in jail to this day? Did she get any jail time? You won't believe this, you guys. She got no jail time. Yeah. She got self-defense. And to this day, she has never received jail time for killing Betty. Betty Gore was a sweet mother who loved her children, who loved her husband, who loved her church, and did everything right. And I mean, not everyone can do everything right, but no one deserves to be hacked like a horror movie. And the defense basically said that Candy had dissociative disorder. And the only reason why they know that, this is very special, you guys, this is very different. She hired a friend that she knew for her lawyer, and he was a special injury lawyer, so he never did a murder case. Yeah. But they hypnotized her, and that's how they found out the trauma. Because Candy, she cried in court, there were remorse and everything, but Wylie Texas, all the jurors literally thought self-preservation was the true answer, which means the trial was, she was acquitted for self-defense. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's why this case is so popular. A woman got axed to death, and yeah, and the killer got off scot-free. That's insane. And you're probably thinking, well, Candy, she was sleeping with her husband. I know, baby birds, but let me feed you. So I'm still watching the show, but I've literally read podcasts and articles and doing a lot of research on this case. A lot. That's why I'm giving you a long one tonight. You're welcome, by the way. This case is just insane to me because I honestly don't think that, yes, she was falling for the husband, you know. It looked like she was. I mean, when you shower with someone and sleep with them and be physical for like a year, how do you not fall? Anyway, but she did explain, because Alan did say, I had an affair on my wife and it was Candy, but it was over a long time ago. And by then it was 7 months before. And sources say that Candy went to go on and have another affair. Today, though, Candy is divorced, and they say she is Candace Wheeler, and she is in her 70s now, and she lives in Georgia, and she works in a mental health hospital with her daughter. Yeah. Patrick, I believe, remarried, and he's in Sarasota, Florida. And Alan, I'm not sure what happened to him. He definitely remarried, though. Yeah. But let me know what you guys think about this case. Do you think Candy should have had a more stronger jail sentence? Because, okay, the self-preservation, you guys, I totally get. But you left an infant in the other room, like, to starve to death. Like, when a kid screams and cries, they can do that a lot. So with this baby being hoarse, that means that's all the baby was doing. I'm not sure, sorry guys, about the timeline. If it was, I think it was just a day or 2 days. But still, that's a long time for a baby to not have care. Everyone else is okay physically. Mentally, I'm sure both families are torn apart. And they may be sick of hearing about this crime. And I am so sorry, and I really wish peace to the Gore family and even the Montgomery family, all the families that are involved, because Wylie, Texas was a small town. Everyone knew each other. And in fact, 3 jurors actually knew Candy. So weirdly, it pays to be the pillar of the community, the church mom, doing everything for everyone. It's just insane, you guys. But yeah, that's my time. I mean, I don't know if I have a time, but again, thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think about this case, and let me know down below what the next one you want me to carry, the next story you want me to say. Yeah, it's late. It's going on midnight, y'all. Oh man. I also get DMs about my jewelry, and I will do better about that, you guys. I will try. My jewelry tonight is actually from Jennifer Garginski, I believe. She does that awesome Bomb Party Fizzy jewelry. DM me, I will give you her TikTok name. She does these really cool jewelry reveals. Look how cute and beautiful my rings are. Like, I am obsessed. I don't have her awesome jewelry little lens thing. Sorry guys if you are just listening. One of them is like a beautiful moonstone that is rose gold with crystals. One is a beautiful emerald rose gold band. And then I have this gorgeous rainbow topaz with crystals all around. I also have this rose gold crystal crisscross cute jewelry thing. And this one is like a dark emerald. It reminded me of Loki. Freaking love Tom Hiddleston. Yes, he's awesome. And then I don't know if you saw my earrings. They are champagne topaz with crystals. So yes, I'm all about supporting small business and, you know, even sometimes MLMs. Why not? It's moms or fur baby moms trying to make a living. But that is my time. Check out the HBO series. I'm still finishing that. And also check out the Hulu series. That is going to be my next watch. Until then, stay safe. I love you guys so, so much. And have an amazing day. Bye. See you later.